Well, you guys are defending champions, so you're not going to be sneaking up on anyone. You're not going to surprise anyone. Not that you really ever did in the past either, but what's the expectation going in from the start of this season for your team, knowing just who you are and what you mean to the rest of the league right now?
Well, it's always been the same. It's win and win. Nothing else in between.
Welcome back inside MASL Midweek with Michelle Gingras, and I am so excited to welcome in this week's guest. He's got a little bling to show us as well. San Diego Soccer's head coach, Phil Salvaggio, the defending champs. You got to show me, first of all, what we just did off camera before we started rolling. A little bling to show to the audience.
You want to see all the rings?
There we go.
There's a new one.
Look at that. That is nice.
All
So,
5.
this is now your first Ron Newman with MASL, but obviously not the first one that you guys have won in your history. Tell me what this one meant to you and why it was so special this past season.
Oh, there's a lot of things. First, it's the first MASL one. Being when we merged 4 or 5 years ago, 6 years ago. You got the best indoor teams ever playing in this league today. So that was the most special one of winning it all. Then also you put the COVID year on it. You put every game on the road. You put a losing record on top of it. And just to come together, and when it was finally over, the emotions, it was unbelievable, and you can't take it away. It will always be a memory that I will have, and everybody I played in that game will have, and everybody who was on our team will have.
When you won that game, especially because you guys played the third mini game to decide the tiebreaker, and it kind of just the entire, you touched on it, but the way that you guys entered the postseason this year, not playing a single game at home, what feelings and emotions kind of come to mind when you reflect back on that game and just what it meant for your group?
Well, every game was so tough. Every team was so good because, we had all-stars, we had other players that were on our team that were on loan, and it actually made it for a great indoor game. And it was so much fun. And then when it was finally over, you couldn't believe it. It was just the emotions that you had for all those months. I mean, a lot of guys got COVID during it, out, in and out. It was kind of tough on every single player, every single coach, and every organization that played.
How did you guys in particular just kind of keep the focus and each week, like I said, never really getting a chance to quote unquote go home to play a game? You're always on the road. So what was your approach as a group?
Well, then, you became a family, and you lived in a hotel, you quarantined together. You didn't get to
Mm-hmm.
see much of anything. You either became best friends or you hated each other.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. Well, hopefully more of you guys became friends. Just tell me what that was like, though. Take me through like the day to day from, going to a new city each time, all of these new protocols, trying to practice safely as well. I mean, did that kind of also just put in perspective how amazing it was to win at the end of all of this?
Yeah, you had to go into arenas an hour before you normally would go into, and you had to get COVID tested, and everything. You wear your mask, you do all these protocols. Every player had to get COVID tested, wait, and then you come into the arena, or you had to do it the night before. So all this, then it was also you just spent dinners inside a hotel room in the lobby or whatever we were. You got a room and you have your dinner together and you do your COVID testing. It was just way
Hmm.
different than anything you could imagine.
Absolutely. So you have been affiliated with MASL or other variations of the league for years. Obviously, you were a player at one point as well. How have you kind of seen the league grow um, as you've transitioned into a coach, and what excites you about where it's headed?
Oh, the league is becoming first class now, and the future, I think, by the third year with the new leadership involved, and we finally got a good group of owners too. In the past, you always had one or two, three owners that were not on the same page. Right now, we have all the ownership is on the same page. We got a good group of leaders, with our commissioners and our sales guys and our on our staff there, leading the league. So I feel like within the next 3 years, we'll be a major sport.
Absolutely. How have you noticed, I guess, even just the fan base in San Diego specifically? And I've noticed it more on a national scale as well, the interest growing. But in your own backyard, how are you noticing fans kind of taking to your team in particular?
Well, wherever you go, everybody knows the soccer. So that's one of the things. We
That's
were just
good.
at the airport, and they knew us, and as we landed, they said, "Congratulations, John, you win." To the San Diego Soccer. So we're kind of known around our community, and it's only getting bigger.
So lots of new faces on your team this year. What are some early impressions of some of these players? Who should fans be excited about?
Yeah, so we have some younger guys in experience that we picked up, and hopefully they pan out. A lot of some from the D2. Picked up some guys from the open tryouts, so it was a good mixture. But we still have our core team. We lost some of our veterans that came in last year, but at the end of the day, we have our core 10 guys and 12 guys that are always been part of us.
So where does the weight fall this year, just from a leadership standpoint?
Where's the weight fall? Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. So who do you lean to, I guess, lean on this year, just from a leadership standpoint?
Well, you're always going to lead to your captain, Craig Childs, and your goalie, Boris. Those are your two
Mhm.
main guys that you're going to have to lead to, and then everybody else has got to play their role, and and those guys have to play their roles too. We have a young goalie that's coming in. He's 22 years old, came through the open tryouts, and he has a bunch of potential to play in the league. So, but that's up to Boris to teach him and help him. And then same thing, Craig is he's come into his last 3 or 4 years of his playing career. He has to pass that torch to a new guys and our new captains.
Well, you guys are defending champions, so you're not going to be sneaking up on anyone. You're not going to surprise anyone. Not that you really ever did in the past either, but what's the expectation going in from the start of this season for your team, knowing just who you are and what you mean to the rest of the league right now?
Well, it's always been the same. It's win and win. Nothing else in between.
But what about any way of doing it? Any way in particular that you guys try to go about your business?
No, it's pretty much the same things we've been doing for the last 5 or 6 years. Um, getting the new players to play in our style of play, and we're just going out and taking one game at a time. I think the league competition is very, very good this year. I can't tell you who's going to end up winning the league. I can't tell you who's going to come in last either. So it's going to be a great year.
The mentality of this club, though, you mentioned just and the speed of the game and how everything is kind of just moved forward. Does that lend itself to the way your team likes to play? Just this fast paced, in your face. I know with the rule changes now, the game is even faster this year. Do you find that kind of plays into the way that you guys are comfortable playing?
Yeah, I mean everybody loves to play fast, and it's exciting when you play fast and you're crushing the boards. It is a very exciting game, and that's why the players even love the indoor game more than sometimes the outdoor game, is because it's so fast and it plays for them. And again, and not a lot of outdoor players can come inside and play indoor. So it's a very
Mhm.
different game, and it's a very fast paced, skillful, all the way around. A lot of goals. It's exciting for fans and players and coaches.
I was going to say, you mentioned it being exciting for everyone involved, and you've obviously been a huge part of it, from being a player at one point to being a coach as well, and winning all kinds of honors and awards. What does it feel like for you now to be a part of this success as this league has kind of evolved to really be a key part of the success that you've seen?
Yeah, and I'm looking more now. We just have the success. We need to grow on it. We need to get
Okay.
bigger. We need to grow. We're going to have a new home in 2 years from now, so we need to grow into that, and we need to be more professional and get to the next level and be a major sport.
What does the off season look like for you? Obviously, you know how to win games during the season. What do you do? What do you do in your free time in beautiful San Diego?
I'm going to promote my Calafino, obviously. I drink a lot of tequila.
I heard
I
about
work on
this.
Calafino tequila. That's what
I
I do.
I want to know. I would like to know some more about this because I heard about this tequila adventure of yours. So, So tell me about it. I really don't know much at all. So take me through what inspired you to get into tequila in the first place and selling it, and where it's gone so far for you.
Yeah, I'll do a short version. My
Okay.
partner Miguel Luna, he'll tell you the version of it. Uh, Basically, he was a player and I was a coach. We carpooled for the last 10 years together um, to all the practices and games. And we used to stop for a beer afterwards. And when we won games, he used to bring in his family tequila, which is our reposado. And we used to win games. And afterwards, we all did a shot of his family tequila. And then it was a misunderstanding at a bar one day. He says he would like to import it for Christmas. And I think, import means they're going to give you the recipe. Well, let's import it. So
Yeah.
there it went. From there on, we were partners, and we've took it to 12 states now, and we're growing every day. I think over 600 restaurants.
Wow. How would you describe like the flavors of it and then the taste of it and all of that? Because I know that for people that are just drinking at a bar, they may not understand the difference or taste the difference, but there is an art to it. So how would you describe your brand?
Well, that like, and I would always ask, what do you like in a tequila? There's so much different. What do you like to drink? If you like a bourbon or a whiskey, you're gonna like our extra añejo because it's aged 8 years, 7 years in a white oak barrel with 1 year with a cognac. So you're
Wow.
gonna like that big bold taste. Now, if you're like a margarita, you're gonna love our blanco. So it really goes on your taste. There's nothing to it. Each is aged, so the more you like aged stuff and smoothness, always the reposado is one of my favorites because it's one of the originals and it's very smooth. It goes down. You can actually shoot it. Uh,
Oh, okay.
so there's
Did
you can have good shots. And it's an ultra premium tequila. It's not your lower class. Sorry,
Yeah. No,
I don't mean
it's
to say
okay.
lower
This is
class, but
so
it's not your high
interesting.
end. It's your high end. And
Did you
then
ever Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
and I think we're actually coming out with a couple new ones in the next January, February, where we're doing a well drink, 100% agave, but it's just for your wells, and we are doing it with Big Josh Foundation, which
Okay.
is a very very great foundation that we're going to be part of. Every bottle that's sold, and it's only going to be in restaurants. We're not going to get out to the public, but every bottle that gets sold, it goes to bartenders, waitresses, anybody that's in the industry that doesn't have insurance and gets terminally ill. We're going to
Wow.
donate. It's a great foundation. Big Josh ended up having to go through that. And this foundation, paid his bills for him after he passed. So it is one of those things that we feel really honored to be part of. So
Hmm.
every bottle that you'll see of our new, it's called Finito, will have Big Josh on it.
If I would have asked you, like, I don't know, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, if this would be part of something you could see in your future, would you have thought that that would have been a possibility, that this could be an adventure that you would go down at some point?
Oh, you would never no, the whole thing, the whole thing. It was a amazing just to get where I'm at today. Um, it's a whole nother story, but it's a fabulous experience. The ride's been great. Being part of this whole life, Jesus Christ has been so good to me, and He's been my Lord and Savior. So I've been very thankful.
Well, amen to that. One last one before you go quickly. Just what's your expectations for yourself as a coach this year? I mean, you got to set them high every year, I feel like, because you keep breaking barriers and you keep getting new honors and all of these things every year, it feels like. So, where do you set the bar for yourself and then also for your team, aside from just winning?
Well, you don't think about those kind of things. You just keep moving forward, and you got to try to do your best every day. And that's the same thing in business or in soccer, or working as the file clerk, or you working as whatever you're doing. You just got to keep working hard and put your nose down and just take it what is right in front of you.
Well, thanks very much for stopping by today. I really appreciate you taking the time. I can't wait until this tequila makes it to the East Coast. Hopefully, Sooner than later, yeah.
You know, we'll have to send you a bottle.
There you go.
So what do you
What
like
a
to taste? What's your thing?
I think the margarita would be more my speed. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. That sounds really good.
We'll get you out a taster.
All right, there you go. What better way to be initiated in MASL than that, right? I
That's
think
right.
that's the best way. All right, thank you so much, Coach, for taking the time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
This is MASL Midweek with Michelle Gingras. You can catch new episodes every Wednesday right here. Thanks so much for stopping by. See you next time.